Hey, welcome back to the shop. This is Zach over at NV Woodworks. Time for a shop update. So this one's going to be jam-packed with lots of information. First things first, I apologize for not getting a video up last week. I was just slammed in the shop. It was actually torn apart, and I've been working on setting up the live broadcasting stuff, and it's been a lot of stuff. So I didn't have time to get a video ready. It was going to be a shop update, so I was in the middle of stuff, and mainly I was so dirty that I couldn't even turn the camera on without breaking it, basically. So anyway, so this week we got a new pen blank up in the store. It's called Firestorm. It's red, white, and yellow. Really awesome looking colors. I love that combination. It'll be a really good blank for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Rockets and probably a host of other teams out there, but those are the only ones that come to mind. The other thing I wanted to mention is the 4th of July is coming up next month, obviously, and if anybody wants a patriotic pen, I got the perfect one called Independence, and that's in my store if you haven't seen that yet. So I'll have a link to that. It's kind of got a darker blue, kind of like the flag, the U.S. flag blue, red and white, and so color swirl. It's kind of like the Cubs blank, but that blue is a little bit darker to kind of match the flag a little closer. So just wanted to mention those couple products, and then we'll move on to what's happening in the shop. All right, so for the shop, we got lots of stuff. It's been torn apart for like 2 weeks. I had to keep the casting, the casting area going, but everything else has been torn apart, moved 3 different times, and it's been a lot of work. So the reason I'm doing a new shop organization again is I'm getting a new lathe, and it's the Nova DVR Galaxy. It's one of their new models. It's got the DVR head, so no belts, which I cannot stand changing belts on lathes. That's going to be awesome. And then it's a full-size, like 44-inch thick cast iron bed and all that, legs and all that stuff. So that's what I'm getting. I'm a little annoyed at Nova because they supposedly had 11 in the warehouse when I ordered it and paid cash for it. And it's still not here, so I'm a little bit annoyed. But hopefully in the next week or two, I will get a new lathe. Now, the other thing that I did with this shop organization was I realized my shop was pretty well set up to do like wood machining, like rough lumber machining and doing woodworking projects. Well, most of you know that I don't really do a whole lot of woodworking projects at this point. It's all resin casting and, some wood turning. So I decided that it was time to scrunch those machines that I don't really use that often down a little bit. Make a more dedicated lathe wood turning area that's surrounding that new lathe. Keeping the Comet, and it's in the same spot, but I'm going to keep it set up for buffing. I have a dedicated pen assembly kind of area that's, if I'm doing like label blanks, which I know a lot of people want to see that video, I still need to figure out a couple of things on that, but if I'm doing something like that, or I've done the Cat 5 wire, things where I'm messing around with pens, that's where I'm going to do it over there. Casting area is the same, and then I got kind of a desk where I can actually draw things, and I got a computer hooked up and work on computer stuff now. So it was just, I needed to kind of set things up and have stations that were dedicated to specific things that I do all the time. I realized that all of my work surfaces were like covered with stuff because I had terrible organization and I just didn't have stuff set up to actually get what I do done. So changed it all around, and it's just about finished at this point. The other thing that I was kind of incorporating into this shop organization thing was live streaming. Now I needed to kind of make sure that things were set up so that I could actually get that, the views and all that kind of stuff set up, and it would work well. So I have that. I'm still working on getting that set up, but I also kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the live broadcasting, which should be coming really soon at this point. I'm testing and doing stuff and almost have everything set up for it. So what I have planned is, initially I plan to do like a once a week broadcast, and what I'm going to do is, we're starting off with the Dunkin' Junk. I'm going to do all that live, and I want to have lots of viewer interaction with that. So I have like a form on my website where you can go and submit, like, I want to see bacon in Alumilite clear, or whatever. Any ideas you have that you want to see as a Dunkin' Junk episode or thing. Go submit your ideas, and then what I'm going to do is each week take like 3 or 4 out of that list, and then at the live broadcast, I'm going to have the audience there that's live actually vote on what am I doing this week? What are we sticking in resin, basically? And I'll probably have people kind of, what colors are we doing? And have the audience kind of shape how this thing kind of goes with this. I think it's going to be really fun. I have fun with Dunk and Junk, and if I can do it with other people live, I think it's going to be really cool. So that's the first kind of segment of live streaming. I'm going to do Dunk and Junk. Now, if for some reason you can't make live, or you just do not want to go to Twitch, that's actually the platform I'm using, twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/NVWoodworks is my channel over there. Go and follow me, and it'll notify you when I go live. But I chose that platform because I like the community there. I like the platform, and it's built specifically for live streaming. Its origination, like Twitch.tv, is a gamer, so video games, gamer live streaming thing, and that's what it's been for a long time. But they just added Twitch Creative, which is for people like me, resin casting, wood turning, woodworking, cooking, sewing, that type of thing, crafting, working with your hands and creating things. And I really like it. I think it's fairly young, that the whole Twitch Creative thing, and I think it's a good opportunity to get into something with a different kind of audience. And I'm hoping that everybody comes over there. It shouldn't make any difference if I'm doing it on Twitch or YouTube. Just show up, and there's a little chat thing, and we can talk and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be broadcasting live. So Twitch also has an iPhone or phone app that you can use, or just go to the website. So I think it'll be awesome. I'm excited. Now down the road, like I said, I'm going to start with this Dunk and Junk and try and do that once a week. These are going to be pretty long form types of broadcasts, hours basically. And one of the things with Dunk and Junk, I can't get things cast and then go and turn it right away. You got to kind of wait for the resin to cure a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing, the format is going to be, I'm going to turn up, or finish the thing that we cast the week before at the beginning. Then I'm going to cast the thing for next week at the end of one episode. So that's going to be kind of how it works. Now down the road, once I kind of get my feet wet with live streaming, I want to add in a live Q&A type session. And I don't exactly know how that's going to work yet, but I'll probably have like a submission form for questions, and then I'll just kind of live, answer them and show things if it's needs showing, that type of thing. But I'll add that in down the road, and then so those are the two main things that I want to do. And then I might just flip on the live if I'm doing something in the shop and just kind of see if anybody wants to show up for it randomly. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm super excited about it. Again, go over to twitch.tv/NVWoodworks and check out my channel. I got things somewhat set up at this point over there. And it should be kind of fun. So I guess that's about it for the most part. I have probably a million other things. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is I'm going to have a full shop tour once I get the lathe actually in here, and I'll show everybody what's going on. I got some pretty interesting ways of organizing things and how I set it up that I think are going to be pretty awesome. So I'll share that down the road. Now, one other thing is I'm going to have a video coming up in a couple of days. One thing that's happening to me is this CA Technologies lid, the gasket in here, likes to fall out all the time, and it's pissing me off. So I'm going to do a kind of a quick tip on the materials and how to glue in, keep that thing from falling out when you're using it. So that'll be coming up in a couple days. It'll be kind of a quick one, but I just wanted to get something up and ready. And yeah, so I guess that's about it. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those down below. I'm out there on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so you can kind of keep up with me and see what I'm actually up to in the shop daily and weekly. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe if you're into resin casting and wood turning type of things. I do acrylic art, let's say. I don't know. I get crazy with resin, and we make cool stuff. So subscribe if you're into that. Other than that, again, I'm sorry about not having one last week, but we'll get back on schedule once I get all this streaming and the shop done, and we'll be good to go. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.